European country. So I'm in US right now and I'm applying for the renewal from the US. So just type VFS passport renewal USA just the way I have typed here, and then you can get this, the first link. Click onto the first link, and then you can go on to the VFS global web page, and on the home page these are all the information. You can see that, and there is a second link is passport service guide. So once you click onto the passport service guide, you can see that apply for the passport services, so types of passport services, and there are a step-by-step guide available onto this VFS global website. So that is the first option, like what is we need to do. The first, identify the passport service type, begin your application, complete mail-in application, and what are the fees, and submit for physical application to VFS, and post receipt of the application by post. So these are the step-by-step guide that already available onto the website. So let's start with the first step. So I'm going to click onto the view more, and the first step is to determine which type of passport service you need. So I have applied for the reissuance of the passport because it was expiring. So if required a fresh passport, you can select that, or like Tatkal service. So it's not required for me, so I have not selected Tatkal service. The documents are almost same for the Tatkal, couple of more documents required for Tatkal, but I'm selecting this one. And then there are the overview, passport fees, documents required, photo specification, process time, and those informations mentioned here that you can read it. And so this is the first option. Now once you go through all these options, like new passport for the newly born child in the USA, and if you want Indian passport or don't, and like this is for the renewal of the passport. Now this is here where the actual work starts. So click here to start government online application form. This is the second option. So, and the first option is just for reading purpose. Basically you need to start everything from here. So first you need to click here to start government online application form. So basically this is VFS application. So first we need to fill this government application form, and once the number generated from the government website, then we need to take that number back and come to this VFS application. So that is the another steps down the line, but we can start from like begin your application. Once you click the begin your application government online application form, this government website gets open, and I select Americas and the USA. There are other options as well if I go back. So Europe, as Asia Pacific, and all, or America. So there are different. So I think VFS is for USA, I think. So I have selected, as I shown that, selected USA, Americas. Here what you need to do, that you need to first register to apply for the passport service, user login. And so once you click onto the register, it will ask you the embassy and consulate, like where do you want. So that you need to, let's say I'm going to select United States. So United States, Atlanta, Chicago, San Francisco. So this is very important to know which. So in United States itself, like there are Atlanta, Chicago, and Houston, New York, and San Francisco, Washington DC. So these are depends on the which state you belong, which state you are staying. So let's say from the west side, a couple of states belongs to San Francisco. So because San Francisco came for Oregon, so that's why I selected that, and then providing all this information. So you need to check your state, like your California or San Francisco, or like Washington states comes under the which embassy. You can search onto the Google and you find that. So you need to select this. The first, this is very important, because once you select, you can't move it. Once you go down into the form submission, it will be automatically selected this consulate. So your all the form will go to this consulate address, and this will handle. So very careful to selecting this, the consulate name like San Francisco, and then you can provide your all the information and create the login ID and password, so you will be logged in into the onto the portal. So I have already done that, so I don't want to go and do that again. So once you logged in with providing all this information, so it will be logged in, and then you need to activate it. After activation, you get an email from this website, and then you will be logged in, and once you start filling all the form, it will be saved. So don't worry about it will be a number generated for you as a reference, and it will be saved. So don't worry about that if you missed that. So you can re-log in it and again update it and edit it. That is before the submission. So here the way when you can submit, like how you can fill the form, and there is a guideline. So now let's say if there is a guideline also that's attached, sample government online passport form. So that's open onto my website. I have just opened that, so I can quickly go through that. So I told you, like, we need to select which consulate we need to the state in which you are residing belongs to, and then you can provide all this information and required information like first name, email ID, and then register it, and then you can activate your account, and then you can provide what kind of passport you need. It's a fresh passport, or like reuse passport, or Tatkal normal 36 pages booklet, or 60 pages, depends on, like, it's at the two different prices as well for 60 pages. So whoever they're traveling a lot, then it might be a big booklet. And then the third page is coming, like, what is the criteria, why you are applying for that, when it expired. So those selections are very easy to understand, and what is the normal type and how many pages you required. And then the next page will become that shows you, then here is, though these information are very important because this is going to be a print onto your passport. So provide your name and all this information, date of birth, etc., and the marital status and the citizenship of India by birth, or etc. You can provide all the information which you have, like those are not mandatory because it is not a star, but still if you want to provide, you can provide. And then you can select for non-ACR category. So once you click here, you will get all the information how you are landed for non-ACR category. So if because you have 10th certificate like matriculation, so you will be landed for non-ACR category. And then if you have some mark, you can add that, those information, and if you save it, it will be saved. So no worries about that. Once you save it, you can again re-log in it, and you can again update it, edit it. So it's not like we need to submit everything in the one shot. And then you can provide your family details, father, mother, and the most important part is if you are using your passport which is about to expire, make sure you can keep that handy and provide all the information exactly the same it is in your old passport. And for marriage, you can provide your spouse name, and then the next is the address is in India. So if your passport has Indian address, and if you want that, so you can provide that as is your passport printable address out of India. If it is no, so it means like your passport address is Indian address. So if you don't want to change those address, you can put directly the same address which is on your old passport. And if you want to put some new address, so first address will be the Indian address, and other address outside India, so that second address will be your US address. And this is very important, very carefully you need to fill. This is not second address like other address. Let's say US address, this is not going to print anywhere onto the passport, but this is going to use for the communication, like you need to send your passport, that will be come back, and they will send back the new passport onto this address only. So very careful to fill this information, providing your numbers and all the street and those information. Address out of India. So here this is the all the addresses that you need to provide very carefully, because this is going to be used as a communication between consulate and you, and other address details also you need to provide, and I think everything is written here. So emergency contact number, so you can provide some another emergency contact number which is reachable, and the mobile number is, it's like we should provide with the, I think I don't remember now, but we should provide with the, I think steady code, IST code, and then you can select all these details accordingly, and then here will be the printable option. So once you everything done, you can reread it and then print it. So this is the just a quick info. Now once you are done with this application form, so then everything looks good, you can put your place, I agree, and the date will be automatically comes, and then once you submit button, it gets submitted, and then there is a number generated for that, for this application number. Then you need to take that number, come on to the VFS website and complete mail-in application and process fee. So now for that you can click here application at the VFS. So now you can see that Embassy of India, Washington DC. So here you can see that in which consulate you are. Now I remember. So you can find your state, and then you can find which consulate you belongs. So here you can see that. And now the time, because you have already submitted that application onto the government website, now you need to apply the same information at the VFS. So now you can here apply now at the VFS. So now let me do the close, and then you can select the passport and then select the type of service, etc. So before submitting that, so you need to create one profile here. So click here to create a profile. So then it will be create a profile at the VFS application. So you can go again and log in here and check your status, etc. Submit your physical applications. So here is all the submit physical application, and post receipt, track your application. So now I want to show you like what are the things that required to submit, what are the documents are required to submit. So onto the first passport service type, once you click that, you click your reissuance of passport and then documents required. So now you can see that I can again go back. So onto the VFS page itself, the first step, passport service, and once you click onto the passport service, you get this page. Select this reissuance of the passport and select this document required page. So reissuance of the passport adult, or if it is for minor, these are the checklist for the minor. So now you can download this. Let's say I just open this. So this is the first checklist. So this is the first one, mandatory, that we need to submit that. So this is the document checklist. So take all the documents, all those prints into the color, and fill, or don't use your pen or pencil to fill any information or tick mark here or any tick mark. Just for the sign you need to use pen, otherwise your application will be denied, what I read somewhere. So you need to use your Adobe Reader or like something, Adobe Editor or Acrobat Reader or Editor. So once you open into that application, Adobe Editor, then you can, like right now I have opened it into the web browser, so it is not allowing me to fill this PDF document. But once you open into the Adobe Reader, you can see there will be box will be appear where you can fill all the information. So you can select into the Adobe Reader as a right click, sign and edit, and then once all this box will be the editor. will be available for edit. So then you can provide your application name, email ID, like whoever the person who is applying for that, your passport number, this is the old passport number, and the mobile number, and these are the documents required to fill. So the checklist start from this here for minors and for adults. So because I applied for adults, so these are the mandatory documents. So you need to select here. So once you open into the editor, you can find a right click. You can do a right click here manually by using editor. Don't use pen or pencil or anything, otherwise they will maybe return it. So now this is the so I have downloaded this first document checklist. This one get open, and then this is the first mandatory annexer E. So once you open this, so again I'm saying like once you open into the Adobe Reader, you will get this DOB drop down, so it will be correctly filled. So you need to fill your first name residing at, so this will be the US address. Remember, this will be the US address, it will not be a India address. And then your date of birth, father name, mother name, and wife, husband. And also the makes your you can see here there is a birth, and this is the registration, neutralization options are there. So make sure you make a tick mark, like right tick here if you are by birth you are citizen of India. So make sure you don't forget this. So I'm just highlighting here. You should select a right option for you by using Adobe Reader. So Adobe Reader, you can take a one sign mark and put it there, and then select everything. Also street building name, you need to select street building name here, the correct tick mark, apartment or suite number. And so wherever it's required, like, so you need to select it, like been terminated or deprived by my citizen of India. So those information you need to carefully select it. This is very important to select it, right tick on the right the option. Then you can write your place and date and signature of the applicant here on the top. And this document is not required, I think. This, let me check that. So this document required, let me open this checklist. So this document is required original, and this is not required notarized. So this is the, now I'm going to be opening the second document, that is affidavit for change of appearance and signature. And this document is required notarized, so you can see that. So no, you can get notary from the bank or some notary like USPS or UPS or FedEx. Now click here and download. So this is the affidavit for change in appearance and signature. So you and son and daughter, make sure you need to click right click son or daughter appropriately by using Adobe Reader. Everything is editable into the Adobe Reader or editor application software that's required. Resident, and make sure all the documents you need to be checked into the color, even it looks black and white. Resident of, so your US address should be put here, and passport number you can provide, issued on which date, and what is the location, so, and where this passport issued. And I think if it is new, and so let's say if it is reissue of the passport, so definitely the appearance changed within the 10 years, so select has changed. If it is not, then has not changed. But this is whatever the my understanding. I'm not providing the like I'm not exporting that, so that's my understanding. To select has if it is reissue of the passport. If it is new, so has not changed if it is the first time passport if you are applying. And then your my signature has not changed, has changed, depends on like what you want. And make sure 2x2 passport size photo, you can get it from the Costco or somewhere. And then dependent application signature, so you need to be tick mark. So wherever these options you see, you must tick mark of that the right option. So and then place and date of birth, and make sure this document should be notarized by the notary guy. And then let me click on that. So okay, and now the third document is self affidavit. So once you click that, okay, so self affidavit document, so this is to inform that, so this is for the Indian address, so you need to provide your Indian address, the last Indian address where you stayed, and all is options like have been or have not been, depends on the what is applicable. And your dependent, select, you need to tick mark either dependent or applicant signature, depends on the criteria. You make sure select the right option, not just leave it as it is, and then provide date and place. And this one also required notary, I think. No, this is not required notary. So this is the first document which required notary's affidavit. Now go with this mandatory, that is valid status in the USA. So that is, if you have the valid green card, take that color copy of that and get notarized. If you have valid visa, so make sure like whatever the all the documents which is eligible for you, make sure you should enclose all those documents. So valid visa or EAD or valid I-797. So it's not like we need to provide just one, it's not optional. So whatever the valid documents you have, you need to provide it, and make sure we need to keep those documents in the order which is mentioned here. So start from this annexure E, second one this one, third one this one, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, like that. So, and these documents, valid status in the USA, so all the documents that you are providing in this one, make sure all these documents get notarized. And then proof of address, so this is not Indian address, this should be the US address. Make sure, so there should be no confusion, this we need to provide this US address. So make sure if that's best, if you, and this is like or, so any of the any of one of the option is eligible, because they have added or, it's not like compulsory we need to provide for all. So make sure if you have utility bill and your name on the that will be the best, or if you have the lease agreement, name of the that will be the best. But let's say sometime like on the utility bill or water bill or gas bill, spouse name not appear, so you can provide the lease agreement. So try to make sure the document which you are providing, make sure the person who is applying name should be there, just for the good reference and the best reference. And then the photograph size is there, and then you can click here and find the photographs, the correct photograph, which is the correct photograph is required, and they have provided the specification. So 2x2 size is perfect. And then you need to provide your Indian passport. We need to submit it, we need to send it to the VFS Global, our actual Indian passport, and we take a copy of that as well, and that's not required notary. And then you need to do a payment onto the first page. So you can click here once you create the profile, and once you create the profile on that page, you need to submit all the information from the application number that's generated through the government website, and then you can pay and submit here, submit your physical application. So you can pay and submit onto this VFS website, and then there will be one document will be generated, that's kind of the receipt number, and then you can track your application. So these documents are already there into this document checklist. Also you can download it from the same website, and if name change is required, so you can provide your name change, notarized, and all this information. So this is, and also we need to take this checklist printout into the color, and make sure you make all this tick mark as required, whatever the you are enclosing, and also into the same order. So I made a list like how we can what are the right orders for that. So this is the right order, and what are the documents required for notary. So I just make it bigger for better readability. So these are the list of documents. So application form, the government form, we need to take printout and provide, and we can put pictures on that, like the photograph that taken, you can put that photograph on that application form. And also, like, we need to send 2 additional photographs. So make sure the order of the document should be like that. So the very first will be the application form, the government form that you have submitted. The second one will be the annexure E form, change of appearance and signature, that's required notary. Self-signed documents that I shown, this is the self one. So this is annexure E, this is the self, this is affidavit, and then there was the third document for the self-signed affidavit. So that one, and then valid visa. So I have submitted the valid visa, so that get notarized. I-797 copy I have, so that's get notarized. And I-797, if I'm applying and I'm on H1, so I should be provide mine. If a spouse and she is on H4 or H4 EAD, her I-797 should be submitted, not mine. And then address proof, so I have just submitted lease agreement, notary, and 2 photos also I need to send them along with the 2 photos which already pasted onto this application form and change in appearance form. So total 4 photos are required, 1 on the application form, 1 on the change of appearance, and 2 additional we need to send it into the envelope, FedEx envelope. And then passport copy, and then actual original passport, and make sure the passport should be 7 to 8 pages, like all the blank pages, but wherever it is written or wherever the visa copy, make sure you get all those color printout. And then fee payment copy as well, so that you will get, once you submitted, you pay at the VFS page. So once document will be generated, that is the actually fee payment copy. And then on the same VFS page you can generate a courier labels. Make sure once you generate the courier label, you need to ship all these documents within the 5 days. And also the very important part is this application form number is valid for 5 days only. So let's say if I generated today, I need to ship all these documents within the 5 days, otherwise this application form number will be declined. So make sure you need to be ship all these documents and the form within the 5 days, the day it's generated. And courier labels are also valid for 5 days only. So make sure you first create all these documents ready, and then start filling the application form, generate the courier label and put it into this order. And checklist, not on the 13 level. So checklist, it means like this is the checklist that what they have given. So fill all this information onto the checklist, and this checklist should be as a on the top. So whoever the reading this are going to verify this document, so they first get the checklist. So basically this should be go first instead of application form. So I put checklist at the top, and then application. So checklist shows them, okay, what are the things I have enclosed. So it is easy for whoever the verifying, and then all this information, and then all these documents you can submit it. So these all information that what I did step by step. I hope it will help you all guys, and let me know if any questions you can drop me question onto the YouTube, sorry about that. And hope this will be helpful for everyone. Thank you so much.